Well, we're in the Eifel. This is in Nordrhein-Westfalen or North Rhine-Westphalia in Germany now. And we are in the Ordensburg Vogelsang, or the Castle of the Order of the Singing Bird, which was the pinnacle military leadership school of the National Socialist movement. Vogelsang was more than just a military academy. This was the empire's elite proving ground and university of Nazi thinking, Nazi strategy, and Nazi culture. Vogelsang members would be taught that the Allies had a long history of moral failures behind them, that the British had, through their colonial empire, pillaged numerous continents, that their strategy was to weaken smaller states before taking them over, but not so with Germany, that the Allies had taken no regard at all for the Völkerrecht or international law. At Vogelsang, students were given not just Norse cultural training, but were delivered an academic program which saw them as the great liberators, freedom fighters, and underdogs against American and British colonialism and imperialism. Well, this is the sports field of Ordensburg Vogelsang, and of course competitive sports were played here, things such as soccer. To the left here we see a relief of what the Nazis considered to be the perfect Aryan man, in some cases woman. We see here, although the occupation force shot at it and removed a lot of the symbolism, the remnants of the 7 Aryan traits, talking about the need for academics, the need for physical strength, physical activities, and other allegories within those statues. Above that was, of course, the National Socialist eagle. As part of the Vogelsang order, a house of knowledge, or Haus des Wissens, some 100 by 300 meters, was to be built to safeguard the true knowledge of the Norse people. As part of this indoctrination, the torchbearer monument read, "You are the torchbearers of the nation. You carry forth the light of spirit in the fight for Adolf Hitler." Selection into Vogelsang was strict. No glasses, no hereditary diseases in the family. Aryan ancestry dating back to 1800 was required, and party membership prior to 1933, or when Hitler took power. These men were referred to as alte Kämpfer, or old fighters, as they had been part of the movement from the earliest days. From the initial 560 recruits in 1936, 100 had given up or failed within the first 2 months. Those who managed to finish training were given the title of Ordenjunker, or Squire of the Order, and would receive special leadership roles within the Third Empire. The Nazis believed in a Norse worldview, and along with that came the idea of reinstituting Viking times and values. As we can see to my left here, there's an Althing, or a Viking assembly point, where they would hold lectures about old Viking times, rune law, and those types of Viking theological discussions. One of the distinguishing features of Vogelsang were the construction of 10 Kameradschaftshäuser, or fraternal houses, which housed 50 pupils per house. We see some of these in front of us now. A prestigious military academy like this, of course, required a swimming pool, a heated swimming pool, and this is one of the few buildings in Vogelsang still in operation today. Vogelsang, as a modern leadership castle and bastion of Nazi ideology, served a short life. A lasting legacy are the terrible wartime attrition statistics of the soldiers who graduated here. Second only to the Japanese kamikaze units of World War II and some distinct units of the SS, Vogelsang Ordenjunker of the first 3 graduation classes had an active wartime death rate of over 90%. Members would literally throw themselves at tanks or charge against hopeless odds, convinced that their actions would right the moral wrongs and would bring them honour. This did not transpire, as the victors' judicial records on a large scale attributed the most horrible war atrocities to them.